It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. Bring it back, I'm stealing your joy. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. We're killing them after cuffing, it's quite fair. Democratic, Republican fight, yeah. I'm living up in this nightmare. Nightmare. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare.
JGiddins
Nightmare. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. It's vivid, I'm living up in this nightmare. Killing citizens on live air. Big guns, militant eyes stare. The infantry that welcomes penitentiary lies here. And they sit in their wise chair and they like, I don't really care how it happened. All I know is that you're young and you're black, and the only thing that's gonna give your honor satisfaction is giving you these numbers so you slumber and you're trapped in this nightmare. What's up, guys? It is none other than your boy JGiddins, the father here. I want to first off start off as usual by reminding you guys to make sure to be positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle, as those three things are key to ensuring that positivity is invited into your future. Now, I'm doing this video. I'm actually just got off of work. I was on my way home from my third job, and I really could not stop thinking about the freedom dividend. Like to the point where I literally came in here, same jacket on and everything, straight from the bus, because I felt obligated to do a video. I kept thinking about how much my life would be different if the freedom dividend was enacted, if it was a part of my life, and the impact that it would have on my, my brothers and sisters, my black brothers and sisters, African American brothers and sisters. And, at this point it's becoming inevitable that we must vote for Andrew Yang. Like, there is no other. He is the solid choice. When I think about the fact that a vote for Andrew Yang is a vote against racial inequality, it's a vote against systemic racism. Andrew Yang is really the only person who is willing to sort of directly address remnants of oppression, both verbally and through his policies. The freedom dividend, I feel, is going to directly contradict systemic racism, and it's going to bring it to light. It's going to bring it to the forefront. I think about what $1,000, when I go outside, I see trash in my neighborhood. I see, buildings that are, vandalized, that are no longer of any value. I see closed businesses. I see people struggling. And I think, what literally would $1,000 do if that was in the hands of all of the people that I see? And I think about how dangerous that is to those who want income inequality to not be. And Andrew Yang's the only person who is pushing a narrative that's going to change that. Like, at this point, it's no longer up for debate. Like, we have to vote in Andrew Yang. Like, I just don't know how else to say it. I mean, just everything that he does, his legalization of marijuana, right? Like, a lot of politicians have said, well, marijuana should be legal, but Andrew Yang is the one who actually ties it to systemic racism. He's the one who actually vocalizes the fact that, its illegalization to begin with had a lot to do with the arresting and incarceration of colored people, and he wants to sort of resolve that. He thinks that those who were prosecuted for it should benefit now. There's nobody else who's going to restore a humane sense of life into our country other than Andrew Yang. I just really feel like he's the way to go. Especially in the current climate that we're in right now. I mean, if you're black, if you're African American, voting for Andrew Yang is not up for debate. Like, you have to, and it's not a matter of having a closed mind and not wanting to view everything. It's just a matter of fact. He's an economical genius. And it takes somebody of that stature to understand the magnitude of what's going on, to understand that the reason that our communities are so disparaged, the reason that everything is the way it is because of lack of money. He understands the value of money. He's a successful entrepreneur. That mixed with his economic genius, he has the resolution without putting it, so plainly, actually putting it in plain sight. We really have to understand that he is the way to go. I mean, think about the climate of the country right now. I just posted a story earlier on my Twitter feed of a 28-year-old black woman who was killed in Fort Worth, Texas, by police officers. Her neighbor called in a non-emergency request. What was it? A non-emergency wellness check, because her door was open at 2 o'clock a.m. and he was a little bit concerned about what was going on. But the police go over there and they kill her. They ignore the front door that was sitting wide open. They ignore another side door based on reporting that was opened, and they went through the back gate and they killed her through her bedroom window. And mind you, she was just in her house playing a video game with her son. Right? They never screamed, "Hey, police, put your hands up," nothing. They just killed her. This is the situation we're in. You got Sandra Bland. You know what I mean? Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner. You know what I mean? Terrence Kutcher. Or Crutcher, I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. That was the guy in Tulsa. They pretty much killed him. He had his hands up. 4 or 5 cops trained their guns on him, and they still killed him. You know, Botham John, most recently. You know, white female officer walks into his apartment and just kills him. And this is the state that our country is in. We are beyond the luxury of wanting to pick the guy we want to pick. The logical choice is Andrew Yang. He is the only person who is going to directly change these remnants of oppression. All the things that we're dealing with are sort of a avalanche, a trickling down effect of everything that's happened over the years, from segregation, slavery, and just all of the racial division that has taken place. You know, we have to. I'm right now just at a point where I'm understanding that this is the only choice. You know, when you think about the way blacks are viewed, you know, we lack value, and the value is in the money, you know, but you can't say it that barely, because, you know, a lot of people, they'll view it as shallow, or not be able to grasp the true concept that I think Andrew Yang is trying to get us to understand when he's saying the best way to improve the racial divide or the disparities in the black communities is to put money directly into our hands. You know, I literally, when I was walking to my house from the bus stop, I saw a bunch of people just kind of standing around looking needy. You know, everybody's doing bad for the most part. And I thought to myself, what if all of those people had $1,000? You know, how much of that $1,000 would go into that corner store and that corner store and that supermarket and back into that house? And if that entire family had it, like, when you think about the trickle-down effect of that, it's just, it becomes so obvious that there's one clear choice, and that is Andrew Yang. You know, I want to say to all of my black African Americans out there, all of my brothers and sisters, like, if you don't take what I say at face value, that's fine. Do some research, but trust me, we need to vote for Andrew Yang. If you're a person who knows people of color, I would implore you to please educate them on Andrew Yang. We need to make sure that, you know, it's well known what his policies are going to do. And he does a good job at it, but again, the media shuts him out because, you know, obviously they don't want to risk, income inequality. You know, there's a huge divide in our country. I was watching a speech from Obama earlier, and he was talking about the change that needs to happen in the country. And he said in his speech, and I quote, laws aren't going to be enough. Hearts are going to have to change. You know, and the first thing that I thought about was humanity first. You know what I mean? There's nobody else who's talking about humanity per se. You know, there's people who mention it here and there. You have your Elizabeth Warrens, and, you know, but nobody drives it home like Andrew Yang. It is the driving force behind his entire campaign, behind the Yang Gang, behind this video, behind every video that you see where people are talking about this. It is... Everyone in this country, per the Constitution, deserves the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There is no candidate right now who has policies that can guarantee that for everyone other than Andrew Yang. The problem is it threatens a small few, a pack of, the 1%, right? It threatens them from the disparity that they've created over the years. And we just have to band together and share in good spirits these thoughts similar to the ones that I'm speaking to you guys now. Yeah, man, I had to do this video because I don't know, it just resonates in me when I think about what this campaign stands for. And again, I want to implore everybody to share this video, share the thoughts in this video, any variances of the thoughts in this video that you can come up with everybody, especially people of color, because if you're a person of color and you're not voting for Andrew Yang, I would have to say it's either because you don't know enough about who he is, or you don't know enough about who he is. You understand what I mean? There is no other answer. Andrew Yang is the way to go. Alright guys, I know I'm beating a dead horse here. That's about all I got for you guys, man. I thank you guys so much for always being so supportive and watching my videos, and everyone who has subscribed. Please make sure to visit patreon.com/JGiddins for more information on how you guys can support me there as well. And also follow me on Twitter. I'll put the link in the description. Make sure to get your pink YangGang hat. I'll put that, or pink Yang hat. I'll put that in the description as well. Shout out to the creator, Will Chang, who is also, I'll just say a great guy. We'll leave it at that, all right? Yeah, on that note, you guys, please remember to always be positive, optimistic, and keep positive people in your circle. That is crucial to ensuring that positivity is invited into your future, and that you can always have good days and be able to help the campaign grow, okay? Until later, it's your boy Jgiddins out. Yang Gang.